在这儿呢，还有它的公园，还有它可以是一个相当于是个类似于酒店吧，就是有人也可以来这儿居住，所以他就建了这个。我们看到这之前它是隔开的，就是这边是一个房子，这边是相当于一个公寓，是6层的楼。我们现在看到的是2层到5层的区别。
都全部打通掉了。
全部打通了。然后在1927年呢，这叶生先生就去世了，他的孩子呢就接管了他的生意，还居住在这里。然后1970年的时候，他的孩子们就陆续搬走了，然后这栋大楼整个就被荒废掉了。荒废了以后，到了2024年的时候，一个地产商接管了这个楼，他买了这个楼以后，他就把它给打通了，然后又加固，这是最开始的那个楼的那个砖。后来他加固了以后，又把这2栋楼连在一起了。因为他当时他是用来做他的办公室和他是有私人收藏，有很多艺术品，所以他还建了这个电梯，这个电梯很大，因为用来承载这些艺术品的。然后这个是2022年的时候，这栋楼就卖给我们博物馆了，就是我们博物馆的永久地址。然后楼上呢有一个短片也是介绍这个楼的。他的后代现在有300多，差不多有400多人，快400人的后代，因为有23个孩子，4位太太，所以这个博物馆快要开放之前，他们还来看过，就是整个300多人一起来。
Yip Sang built Wing Sang in 1889. Wing Sang was an inspiration for other immigrants who could look at that and say, well, this very poor immigrant came from nothing, and maybe I can too.
My name is Mel Yip, and I lived in the Wing Sang building for 15 years before we moved out. My grandfather, he was an orphan. He left China, age 19, to pursue a better life. We traveled first to California for the gold rush. That didn't pan out literally. So he moved north to British Columbia, again following the gold rush, and that didn't pan out. So he finally settled in Vancouver, where he was hired by Canadian Pacific Railway as an agent. He was the one that hired all the labor from China to complete the railway. He was quite a businessman. Started from nothing, built an empire and a family actually. It was quite remarkable.
Yip Sang built Wing Sang in 1889. Wing Sang was an importer and exporter. It was originally a 2-story building.
Grandfather built the original Wing Sang building, the first one in Chinatown with brick. I heard that his plans were rejected many times by the city inspectors, even though other buildings were using the same bricks. They had to go to the Supreme Court to get to build.
Yip developed not only Wing Sang, but he had a vision clearly for all of Chinatown. Yip invested in everything possible: laundries, restaurants, tailor shops, and development plans. It cannot have been the most inviting area to build. Chinese were discouraged from taking more attractive sites. Chinatown was a place where Chinese were allowed. Here I am and here I remain. He was envisioning a permanent legacy in Canada. Wing Sang, being a China-style compound with a live-work space, was many things to many people, including also a site of business. It was a hostel for incoming immigrants. It became a school. About 20 years later, he expanded the building up to another 2 stories, and there was a compound.
My grandfather had 3 wives living in the same building, one on the 3rd floor, one on the 5th floor, one on the 6th floor. 19 sons, 4 daughters, 23 boys. They're all being grandchildren. There was a total of 75 from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 4th floors. So kitchen, 2 toilets, and for some reason, the families all made it work. I don't recall having to line up in the morning to clean up to go to school. Everything seemed to flow. It was quite a unique community. It was actually by itself a small community living within the larger Chinatown community.
We were quite isolated from the public. It's all commercial, you know, and it's very unusual not to have any houses around. My mom did not allow us to go outside because it's not safe. In a way, she was protecting us. We're almost stress-free. My mom likes to play mahjong. She doesn't even have to go outside. There was enough aunts and uncles in the building to play with her, and that's same with us.
But we have lots of cousins to play with, and go out with, or whatever, or have fights with. After the second floor, to get on the stairs, we have to walk through a hallway. It's a big hallway, like a dance hall. So it's a perfect place to play. Hide and seek, football, or whatever you want. And then that little hallway leads into an open air section that the kids can play outside.
The outdoor area where one of my cousins would off basketball hoop and would say, "Who wants to shoot basketball?" And all of a sudden there's 6. Okay. So we played in the building, we roller skate, even in the hallway.
My grandfather, education was very important to him, and discipline.
Grandfather was always interested and concerned that he wanted his children to have knowledge of Chinese language, culture, and history. In 1914, he registered the 3rd floor school as a Vancouver Chinese independent school. He brought teachers over from Hong Kong to teach them.
The school room, they weren't using it when I was there. It was used more like a ceremonial room. When any of my uncles got married, the bride and the groom would go into the school room. The bride and groom that we had is priceless. I think I'm very fortunate to have that. We all became successful in the sense that I think we were all happy. We were all happy.
I felt so actually blessed and fortunate. It was my life.
Yip Sing died in 1927. The Depression happened 2 years after that. To keep up with that infrastructure.
Basically, when the family increased in size, many of them start moving up, buying homes outside of Chinatown.
Those bricks could have gone the way of so many historic buildings have gone in BC's history.
We were contemplating on renovating, but the cost was just too much. So we already came to offer. We thought, why not?
Without ever going inside the building, I delivered the check. I just felt it was the right, I knew the size of it, I felt it was the right building for me.
Bob Rennie is restoring the building for his new offices and a personal art collection. He invited the Yips, all 377 of them, to see the progress.
Bob had hoped for the building to be completed by the time we had hundreds of hard hats, all for 375 family reunion members, and gave us tours.
Our playground was just down below. There was a sunroom. We played basketball. I have really deep connection, and in fact, I want to convey that to my 5 grandchildren.
I think that day I left feeling more than ever we were on the right track, and we always looked at ourselves as the custodian of the Wing Sang building. We wanted to restore it at any cost. Showing a natural journey is really important. All art must be seen in the light it's painted in is very similar to the building. Is let's expose the foundation, let's expose the brick, let's show the journey of that building. Don't just cover it up. We save the exterior so that the neighborhood would be preserved. But that philosophy carried through, that journey had to be protected at a very special level with the whole building.
Okay, so this is the brick building. What is so clean? Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the schoolroom. That faces English Street. And originally, these were schoolrooms, originally. Yeah, when family was, when the elderly family was around. Yeah, Henry Street. Yeah, we sure changed.
What better thing to honor the Yip legacy than having the Chinese Canadian Museum in the building?
I was the right custodian for the time for the restoration, but in the Chinese Canadian Museum, they're the right custodian in perpetuity.
I think about Yip Seng's legacy. First of all, Yip built Wing Seng and chose it to be his base of operations. He chose Canada as his home. Yip is buried at Mountain View. At a time when still many people were thinking to have their bones buried in China, Yip saw a future where his descendants would be able to honor his grave. So when I think about the Chinese Canadian Museum being in his former home, I think he would have been beyond pleased because he saw a future here.